The sports animal. The sports animal.
Listen here. Y'all are sleeping on the toughest game on the schedule for Oklahoma in 2019. Okay? Most folks, they would think that OU's going to take care of business with Houston, probably drop 50 on them and beat them by 30. South Dakota, not about to talk about South Dakota. UCLA, man, we're going to have to slog through that one. But at least it's a 7 o'clock game. Texas Tech could be cool. Matt Wells had it humming at Utah State. Got a lot of Oklahoma ties on that Texas Tech squad. See if they can make it happen. The Mad Hatter. That ain't going to be that's going to be the best part of that game. It's just watching Les Miles eat grass. That's going to be the best part of that game. Texas, everybody's going to be up for Texas, okay? Texas going to be up for Oklahoma. Oklahoma going to be up for Texas. We already know that that's going to be a big game on the schedule. West Virginia, well, I mean, the Austin Kendall Revenge Tour comes to town, and then we'll see. Kansas State, get a really good opportunity to see Chris Kleiman's squad. I think that they could be a surprise. I think they could shock some people. And then on November 9th, Saturday, November 9th, Iowa State comes to Norman. Matt Campbell's Iowa State comes to Norman with Brock Purdy in tow. Brock Purdy ran off Zeb Nolan. Ran him to a different division. That's how good he's turned out to be. Also got a little cocky to him. I like it. He showed up as a true freshman and went at Matt Campbell's chest about why am I not starting, and Matt Campbell had to say, hey, sit down, child. Get this sit down. But once they got to working together, you could see they're going to be all right. And then John Heacock, his defense is so good, Bill Belichick is going, hey, how do I use this 3-4 to stop these air raid schemes because you're giving people problems. And they were. And they are. So now you got a defense and a defensive coordinator that many folks that follow Oklahoma are like, yo, just go get the guy from Iowa State. Why are we making this hard? Why are we looking at guys like Pete Golding? Why are we looking at guys like Alex Grinch? Just go get that dude. That dude actually beat up on us in 2017, and he did, at your house. People forget, there are 4 losses on Lincoln Riley's resume. Texas, which is on a neutral site. Georgia, which is on a neutral site. Alabama, which is on a neutral site. And then Iowa State came to your house and beat your Heisman Trophy winner and then some. And now, they're not sneaking up on anybody. And in Championship November, in a year, or in a month that is Lincoln Riley's been undefeated in the month of November. That's going to be a pivotal game, no matter what the outcome of Texas is, because that should be, if you're looking at a loss on the schedule, that's the only one I could conceive ahead of Iowa State. And then Iowa State's going to be like, no, we know who you are. We're not scared of you. We're not scared of any of y'all. And you know what? I came up with Alex Grinch. I know who he is. It's like my favorite story about Jake Spavital and Dana Holgerson, because Dana Holgerson helped raise Jake Spavital as a coordinator. Jake Spavital called up Dana Holgerson and said, I know all your play calls. Click. I hope we get the same kind of shade from Matt Campbell and Alex Grinch. I think they conduct their business a little bit differently. But you would be a fool to think that Matt Campbell doesn't have the inside track on the new hot defensive coordinator at Oklahoma and the first $1 million plus assistant in OU football for the defensive side of the ball outside of your man's Lincoln Riley, who ascended to head coach. Patrick.
Interesting piece, because again, the stretch in November is intriguing. Is that a good word for it? ESPN did a piece. It was the trickiest game for each of the top 25 teams. For OU, they actually said the next week against Baylor. The Sooners have handled Baylor in recent years. Charlie Brewer, however, has thrown for 400 yards in Norman last year. With Brewer back, Baylor should be improved, and they'll be catching OU in Waco between tough games versus Iowa State and TCU. So again, that November stretch, as much as I think OU's schedule is very manageable when you're kind of breaking it down, November could be tough, especially maybe, you might have an injury that time of year or something might not be going your way to where it just won't be a cakewalk finish for the year.
We can make every November stretch not a cakewalk finish because Oklahoma State's going to be in there. most Novembers, right? And TCU, no matter where they are in the schedule, you're going to say that that's a game they can lose just because the defense is so good. But I look at Baylor and I go, defensively, y'all run a 4-3 in a league that runs air raid across the board. I don't really know what you think you're doing with running a 4-3, except getting stretched out at places where you can't get stretched out. I look at TCU and I say, y'all don't even know who y'all's quarterback is, okay? You ran off the last couple of ones. You ran off the highest-rated quarterback to ever commit to TCU. He's at Missouri. He would rather back up Kelly Bryant on a team that can't play for a bowl than play at TCU. I look at Oklahoma State and I say, all right, cool. If Spencer Sanders is your guy, all right, who's your running back? Who's your back? Because you can't just throw to Tylan Wallace every play, okay? And I look at the defense and I say, you know, the word is that 4-2-5 that they're running down there is just really, really complicated. And you can tell me that Colby Peel is that dude, and I might believe you. You can tell me A.J. Green is that dude, and I might believe you. But if they don't know what the play calls are, I know how that works. It works in the way that it worked for Oklahoma the last 2 years, which is that you go give up 300, 400 yards passing every time you come out to the field. So when you told me about Charlie Brewer, first thing that came to my head about him throwing for all those yards was everybody threw for all them yards. We was out here running game on Oklahoma's defense. It was ooh, y'all know how I feel about this. I'm getting worked up. My blip. Woosa. Woosa.
Oh, I don't play defense.
Yeah, right? My God. Ugh. Ugh. Oklahoma, where defense is a calling card. Alex Grinch is supposed to get it back, but it's not. Look, point is, even if the defense is really great, and there's lots of reasons to think that it could be, just with the change of scheme and the change of attitude and the change in way that you deployed the defense, Iowa State has the best opportunity to upset Oklahoma among Big 12 teams. Now, getting outside of the Big 12, going into college football playoff, we all know how that goes because all OU does is draw Alabama or Clemson. And, man, I don't regret making them T-shirts, but they still work. They still work. They still work. All of this to say, if you haven't circled Saturday, November 9th versus Iowa State as a tentpole game for which the rest of college football will be grossly affected, you're doing it wrong. Okay? That game could mean more to the Power 5 than almost any other game other than OU Texas for OU on OU's schedule. I just don't see another really. I don't see another team stepping up outside of Texas to try to take from Oklahoma much of anything because they're in Oklahoma's head. There are still guys on this team that remember getting beat down by Iowa State at home, which was a thing that had not happened in like 30 years.